Hi everyone, my name is Lewis. Welcome back to the channel. I hope I find you all in good health. Today I'm going to be talking about some of the jazz albums I've been listening to recently. I'm going to talk about each album in turn and why I would recommend it to you. So to kick off with today is a 1975 release by Billy Parker's Fourth World, and the album is called Freedom of Speech. Again, sorry about the glare, I'll try and sort that out for you. Right, so I am particularly partial to early to mid 70s jazz. Something about that era in particular resonates with me. And to be perfectly honest, I'd forgotten about how this album actually sounds. But it's been an absolute pleasure to rediscover it. I'm truly grateful for that, and I won't be forgetting it again anytime soon. Um, there are many jazz albums that I respect. I got high appreciation of, but there's very few where I actually imagine what it was like to be there at the time of recording. This album is one of those albums where I place myself in that era. It just touches me in a particular way. That doesn't mean it's the best album, it's just something about it that really connects with me, and I find it a thoroughly enjoyable experience. The tracks off this album that I would recommend would be Gemini's Lullaby, Home, and Get With It. Notable musicians on this particular album are the two Cecils or Cecils. The first one will be, let's just say it's Cecil. Cecil McBee on bass, Donald Smith on piano, and Cecil or Cecil Bridgewater on trumpet. Yeah, this is a really nice affair. If please listen to it on one of the streaming sites. You're in for an absolute treat, and I would say if you see it, well, certainly for me, knowing what I know, it's a no-brainer. So yeah, vinyl, CD, if you see it, get it. I don't think you're going to be disappointed. But of course, have a listen to it beforehand. So that's today's first album. The second album today is a 1978 release by a gentleman called Horace Tapscott with the Pan African People's Orchestra, and the album is called The Call. There you go. Yeah, I dig that album cover. This is an idealistic and optimistic private press release. Um, there's lots of talent on display on this particular album with lots of emotion, and yeah, that always gets me every time. I'm just one of those type of people. It's a captivating and enjoyable listening experience on the whole. Um, yeah, one of the things what really struck out to me was the underlying hard and percussive pianistic technique. So yeah, it's people thumping the piano keyboards, but they're doing it with particular skill. So I do appreciate that, and it's something slightly different from the norm. But yeah, as a body of work, really enjoyed this particular album. Notable musicians on this album. Of course, there's Horace Tapscott, who is partnered by Linda Hill on piano. Really does a good job, both of them. Jesse Sharps and Adele Sebastian share the flute duties, and Everett Brown, who I've got to really say holds it all together on drums. He done a really nice job. The three tracks that I would recommend from this album would be Nakatini Suite, The Call, and Peyote Song Number 3. Please have a listen to those three. Give this album the respect it's due. Yeah, it's on a small imprint, but don't let that fool you. Don't let that kind of colour your views on how good it could be. This is really nice. If you see it, well, certainly haven't listened to it on the streaming sites. I think it's going to be harder to get on vinyl than it is CD now. But if you do see it on either formats, again, I would say for a reasonable price, just jump in. You know, you're not going to be, you're not going to feel cheated in any way. So yeah, a really good 40 minutes of listening on this particular one. I really enjoyed that. The third and final album for today is a 1972 release, and it's the debut album by a, well, come to be like world famous drummer by the name of Norman Connors, and the album is called Dance of Magic. Again, sorry about the reflection, but yeah, that's a cool cover. I like that. We're going to come on to the names who are of the musicians who are featured on here, and it's just ridiculous how overpowered this particular lineup of musicians are. But I'll start off with the supplementary information. Although not an album without fault, in my opinion, when it does get it right, this particular album is operating on a completely different level. I thoroughly enjoyed this. This is yeah, jazz as it should be, in my opinion. I think of this album as like an expensive and rich dessert, one filled with exotic ingredients, prepared with skill and panache, where one only needs a slither of this particular dessert stroke cake to taste in order to really appreciate what's gone into it. You don't need a whole chunk, you don't need to eat the whole thing, you just need a mere slither, and from that you can extrapolate, wow, this thing is absolutely amazing. And it is. So let's just go through the musicians who have contributed to this particular 4-track album. You've got the great Herbie Hancock on piano. You have Carlos Garnett and Gary Bartz sharing the sax duty. Eddie Henderson on trumpet. You have Art Webb on flute. Cecil McBee and Stanley Clarke share the bass duties, and Alphonse Mouzon and Airto Moreira on percussion. Gee whiz. That is truly overpowered. It's just, it's in comic book terms, it's like every character, heroic character you've seen in all the Avengers, all turning up at once. It literally was Endgame. This is the kind of thing. It's just everybody who's decent is here. The tracks that I would recommend from this album are Morning Change and Blue. Again, have a look, listen to these tracks on one of the streaming sites, but I would heartily recommend this one. I know you can still pick it up on vinyl for reasonable amounts of money, and yeah, this would be a very good excuse to buy a turntable if you don't have one already. CD, yeah, you should be able to get it, but there's something about having a tactile version of this, I feel anyway, certainly justifies purchasing some sort of turntable to listening to it on. So give it a go. I think this is fantastic. Like I said, when they get it right, they certainly do. So that's the last album for today. It's been an absolute pleasure talking with you about some of the albums I've been listening to. I hope you enjoyed the experience as well. Please, if you've enjoyed the content, please subscribe, like, share, and feel free to leave comments down below. So until the next episode, look after yourselves, and I will see you soon. So take care. Bye bye.